Christina.
Today we are talking a little bit about burnout. We are streaming live to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn.
Good.
For me, anyway. We're gonna get even better at this Riverside stuff. We're gonna add your channels.
Good.
We're gonna keep going. It's good, cool. You know what I love about this? I love
Hmm.
the clips that it makes afterward.
Oh, great. That's nice. Yeah,
You haven't seen it yet, but on the
I
back
haven't seen
end,
it.
yeah, they automatically do clips. That's pretty cool.
That is.
So, what are we talking about today? This morning, you were like, "Hey,
I
I think
had
you'd
two
be really good at
ideas,
this."
burnout and collaboration, but let's talk about burnout today. We can talk about collaboration another time, but 65% of workers around the globe are disengaged.
Mm,
And of those, 20% are really disengaged and burned out.
yeah.
And I, I think the numbers are a little bit movable, but I see that a lot of people are burned out. And on top of that, right now is not a great time for tech workers to be looking for another job because so
Mm,
many tech workers have been laid off.
mm,
And
mm.
so if you're burned out, you may not want to change
Stop and
jobs.
pause. Right,
And
right.
so then you just have to endure it. But what's happening is with so many people laid off,
Yeah.
employers can offer the same job that they were paying 150,000 for.
Uh huh.
They can offer that job at 75
Mm,
and know that somebody who's qualified will take that incredible hit and
mm,
will take that. And so there's a compression of pay for jobs, and that's making the applicants even more stressed than they
mm.
were already because they're burned out.
So then
So,
you're looking for a job, and you're like burned out looking for a job, but you still need
well,
to keep looking because you don't have a job.
you're right.
So that's another thing that could happen too, right?
Yeah, or
Uh,
you're burned out because your current work is killing you. It's like 80 to 100 hours a week,
mm,
and your boss is not at all a good boss, and uh, and you just crash and then go back to work and then crash and then go back to work, and
it's miserable.
it's
It's miserable.
miserable. So
It's miserable.
you're stuck there because you can't find a new job that pays the same amount that your current job pays, and so you feel really stuck. And Christina, you are fantastic at dealing with these emotional issues. And so I thought that
Well,
would
you
be a
know,
good thing to discuss.
another scenario that I've seen too is people. I do that talk about learning to say no,
Yeah,
and it's about boundaries.
right.
Sometimes, if you don't have good boundaries, what happens? You get burned out.
Yeah.
Okay? You get burned out because you're saying yes to everything all the time. I
Hmm.
feel like, yeah, look at that. My other earring didn't make it in this morning. Very
Well, we're
interesting.
all a little lopsided.
All lopsided. Well, it's Dev intersection this week, and so there are a bunch of people in town, and so every night so far I've been out a little bit later than normal. I was a little bit tired today. Well, when we're talking about burnout, whatever kind of burnout it is, the main thing is self care and having the awareness to watch when the signs come. So, for me, for example, I know that I'm a little bit in over my head right now because my laundry is like in a pile. That's a pretty good indicator for me that things are starting to get a little bit out of control because my laundry, things are a little bit more messy. I might be losing things.
Hmm.
Sometimes my appointments get messed up.
Hmm.
all of those are good indicators that I need to slow it down, or that I need to do something about managing the burnout. In the case of where you're trapped and you're kind of stuck about your job and you want to get out of it, but you can't really. In that case, so much of it is having to manage it, right? In that case, your main needs are not met, and so you really kind of have to compromise and sacrifice certain things, especially in this job market, as you said, for all those reasons, right?
Hmm.
So some of those things, I think, people say, well, what about self-care? And I want to talk about, I don't know if we've said this before, but self care is more than just taking a bubble bath or just getting to sleep like an hour early, or, you know, giving yourself a treat to go out to the spa or something. Those things are nice, but self care is doing the things that will have you functioning optimally. That's what
Hmm.
self care is. So, whatever that is, if that means spa once a week, once a month, okay, sure. If you can't do spa, then how can you create the stillness in in whatever environment, so that
Hmm.
your brain can get to that place, so that really all the spa is supposed to be relaxing, right? So if spas aren't relaxing for you, that's the that's the wrong thing. In fact, I used to work in a spa when I was in my 20s, and people, they get people spa packages, or they say, hey, you're so stressed, you need a massage, and people would come in who don't normally go to the spa, or don't normally and they'd be really stressed about being there because it was new or different. Like, well, I have to use this gift certificate, it's expiring, I don't know why, my partner gave me that. It's so funny. So spa can actually be stressful for some people.
Yeah,
Right, if
that's
it's not your
hilarious.
thing. Mm. But
You
the
know,
things that
another.
I need to do for my optimum care, I
Mhm.
do making sure that I'm healthy. I have to go to the chiropractor because I have chronic pain. I have to make sure any kind of body work. I see my acupuncturist. I see my functional medicine practitioner. Um, I have a therapist I talk to. Right. I have so many things that I do for my personal well being, so that
Mhm.
I can function. I go for walks. I color with my kids. I have cats. My cats are always coming into my
Where are
office and
those
interrupting
kitties?
my day. I know there's one right here, and there's one that was right here, and she was like, "Hey, can I be?" No, we're podcasting. We're recording right now. No. Um. So you have to know what those things are, though. It's not just a bubble bath. It's not
Yeah.
just. And when you do those things that get you into a relaxed state, what happens is it tells your nervous system, okay, we can turn off that sympathetic nervous system now. So even biochemically, you can do things, right? You can, for example, I'm a big fan of doing push-ups to get out extra energy, to
Wow.
burst it, so that you kind of you're feeling those emotions and giving them a place, right? Some
Mhm.
people need that. Maybe you need that instead of a bubble bath. Maybe you need like a good connection with nature instead of a spa. I don't know.
Mhm.
People have to think about that. What do you do so that you know your nervous system can go, turn off the sympathetic nervous system? Because have you ever had burnout before? You had to have had burnout
Yes,
before.
of course.
I mean,
Yeah,
the kinds of positions that you had, right?
yeah. And I'd get home from work, and I think mentioned this before. I tell my family, look, I'm fried. I'm just going to go take a shower and just, you know, fend for yourselves for a while.
Yeah.
And and then my husband would come in and say something like, "Where's the butter?" And I'm like, "Ah,
Ah,
we've lived here for 20 years. What do you mean? Where's the butter? It's where it's always
but
been."
your nervous system is already dialed up,
Yeah.
right?
And so then the next night I came home and I was burned out again. And so I said, "Look, I'm really burned out. Just pretend I'm dead." I sort of passed the burnout to my family, and they're like, "What?" But they didn't ask me where the butter was after that.
Right, 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 right. No, you know, you can change your mood and change how you deal with things by changing your perception, by shifting your nervous system, by changing the chemistry of your body, right? So, all of those different ways will help. So, different ways that help for me, like I said, um, I do things like hike, I go for walks around the neighborhood. I have a long list. In fact, I just went to go visit my brother. This was great. I love this idea. He had something on his fridge for his kid that whenever you're bored, these are the things that you can go do.
Oh, nice.
And it's kind of like that. Hey, whenever
Yeah,
I'm starting to feel burnt out, these are the things that I can do. I
yeah,
can go connect with a small child. I can connect with a pet. I can go for a walk. I can bring it down. Once your nervous system is calm, then those solutions start to happen. Once your nervous system is calm, it's interesting. People who are looking for jobs or to get out of a job, I recommend that when they are working all day at their job, and then they come home and they need to apply to a different job. Take a break, take a transition time, take a
yeah,
mental transitional moment, or you're going to take that energy into those job applications, into those job interviews, unless you actually manage your mindset and really tone it down, shift your perspective so that your brain is coming from a creative problem solving mode instead of more of a fight or flight mode, because your sympathetic nervous system is just on fire, right?
yeah. One thing that I recommend for those who are currently unemployed, and I'll tell you why in a second, is
Mm,
journaling. Ask
mm,
yourself something like, or notice this person is driving me crazy. And then you ask yourself, well, why is that person driving me crazy? What about
mm,
that person drives me crazy? You write a little bit about that and then go to the second level. Well, why is that driving me crazy? Or why is that
mm.
provoking that response? And then to a deeper level. And I found that after about 5 levels, I could really get to the bottom of
Uh,
what was making me crazy. And it had nothing to do with the person who was making me crazy. It was just that
yeah.
the person who was making me crazy was reflecting something about myself that was a struggle or a problem for me.
Yes.
And, that journaling process can take an hour in the morning, but I
Right.
recommend doing it in the morning before other thoughts are crowding up your brain. Um,
Right.
but it's also really hard to do that if you're already stressed because you're working 80 hours a week. You don't have the
Yeah.
hour
To
to,
pause and reflect.
yeah.
To
Uh,
pause and reflect.
or if
So,
you're just if you have a more reasonable schedule and you're feeling stressed at work, try to make that hour for yourself in the morning.
in the
Um,
morning.
maybe that means getting up an hour earlier and
I mean, the nighttime just before bed, if you've already kind of wound down,
mhm,
right? Then your brain's receptive. But if it's the nighttime and your brain is fried and you're still kind of in that panic or fight or flight or freeze or whatever mode
mhm,
you're in,
mhm.
it's not going to work out so well.
No,
It's going to be harder. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But if you're able to take some time and get introspective before bed, then that would work as well. And
yes,
5 levels of why.
yeah,
Why is this? Why is that? Why is this? You could also use a rubber duck to, kind of sit on your desk and talk to, essentially bounce your ideas off of, even though you're really talking to yourself. But I call that the rubber duck method. And so you can just bounce it off a rubber duck. I also have dictated things. So if you're driving to work
mhm,
and it's the morning and you're drinking your coffee, it's like a download. Okay, I've got to figure this out. I've got to figure that out. Maybe if you could do one single thing every day toward your job search, just
mhm,
just try that. one single day thing every day toward the new job search, that's enough. I think that a lot of times people think they have to just go hard and get 3 4 interviews a day, and it's be researching on LinkedIn, connecting with people on Twitter. Like it's a lot. Just do
Yeah.
one single thing for the job search every day,
Yeah.
and then take solace knowing that I'm building on that, because otherwise you get burnt out on the job search while you're
Yes.
searching for a new job when you're already unhappy with the one you have.
Yeah. Another thing that people can do is it's fall. It's the new semester, so school
Mm,
is starting up. Take a class at your local community college and learn a new skill or
mm-hmm,
build a skill you already have,
mm-hmm.
and that can calm your brain down from the other things because
Yeah,
you're switching out what you're thinking about when you think about
right.
class. And
Uh-huh.
I find that really helpful to have that total brain switch. And so I recommend that. Also, if you are unemployed, take classes, and then that fills the void in your
Oh, right,
schedule.
right.
I've been renewing some skills, and I just recently got this new degree or whatever it is you
Yeah,
can do to, I got the certification
right.
while I was not working for the company that was making me insane.
Well, I just started. I'm not in a company that's making me insane, but I just started classes, and I can confirm, it's nice to have this new little world over here. I have a fresh new that's separate from all my stuff, and it's different
Hmm.
because it's massage school. I'm getting a licensed massage, and so it's completely different. It's a different way of thinking. I get to use my science background again, which is super fun, and
Hmm.
uh, it's a separate thing that lights me up, that I look forward to. Like, I'm taking an exam today, and I'm super excited to go into school and take my test.
Oh, good.
Because it's something different. It's novel,
Yeah.
and it stimulates different parts of our brain, so it gives us something separate. I love it. It's great. I have different friends. It's a different vibe at the massage
Hmm.
clinic. It's terrific. Yeah,
That's nice. That
yeah,
and massage is such a healing thing because there's so much physical
right.
stimulation between your hands and
Uh-huh.
the other person's
Yeah, it's much different than
back or
tech. My hands and the keyboard. It's
yeah, very
completely different.
different. And I think that is such a helpful thing because it's just taking your brain into a new spot. Uh,
Right. Yeah, it's like learning a new language. Or I think my Jay, in fact, just the other day, he was saying he passed like 600 days, consecutive days, or 1,000 consecutive days or something on Duo. I mean, it's a lot. I gave up on Duolingo after, I don't know. I lost my streak. That's what it was. I lost my winning streak, and I was like, forget it. I'm done with this. I liked it until it got hard. And then once it kind of, I had to start learning new words. I was like, ooh, this is hard.
yeah, yeah.
I think that when we learn new things, I don't know, I guess I don't have any books in front of me right now, but I have read that when we learn new things and we stimulate those new parts of our brain, a language,
Hmm.
an instrument,
Hmm.
a new thing in class, right? Like massage,
Hmm.
it's totally different. We're stimulating different chunks of our brain, and even
Hmm.
the areas around those parts that are adjacent, they'll start getting more activity and more blood flow, and the adjacent parts of our brains will start to get stimulated as well. It's pretty cool the
Hmm.
way brains work, and
Yeah,
we
it's
can
very
change
cool.
our moods because we can shift those patterns, and slowly, 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 things start to shift in how we are able to process the stress, even tremendous amounts of stress. Because I have lots of stress. If somebody might follow me around on a daily basis and go, wow, how do you handle all that stress? But I just process it. I don't take it in. I know, other people's stress belongs to them, and I have boundaries there.
Yeah.
And of course, it helps that I love my job, right? It helps that
Yeah. That
my
helps.
Jay
It
is
always
my
helps when
partner.
you love your job. That's fantastic. And I
Right.
have had lots of opportunities to love my job, and those times are special and fantastic, and I really
Yeah.
value them. So,
But I've had plenty of times where I didn't love my job,
mm-hmm.
plenty of times where I quit my manager.
Yep.
And those times, it's all consuming. It's
Yeah.
very stressful,
Yeah.
internally on our system and how we handle things. That means we have to do things like drink more bubbly water, more carbonated water. So um, it helps us process um, the extra stress hormones in our body.
Right.
We
Well,
need to make sure that we're eating regularly when
yeah.
we're extra stressed. That's what I do. Whenever I'm extra stressed, I stop eating as much because I'm like, oh, I'm going. And I just want to
Right.
get through this. So I'm going to eat through lunch.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
I stop taking care of myself. That stresses my body even more. If I'm eating French fries every day for lunch, that's not going to work out very well
Not
because then I don't
helpful.
have that fuel, right? I have the wrong
Yeah.
kind of fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of learning new things, on Friday, September 13th at noon Central, 10 Pacific, 1
Yeah.
Eastern, you can join us to learn new skills about communication and leadership
Oh,
with our leadership practicum course. Just go to luckygirlygirl.com and sign up. It's only $27. It's fantastic. Will help you in your career wherever you are. So join us for that, and I hope that'll
that's
help
going
a
to
lot
be
of
at
people.
noon central,
Yeah.
10 Pacific. And you could get tickets. We have a very specific website just for the tickets that is luckyandleslie.com. You can go to
Uh, that's
luckyandleslie.com.
right. I'm sorry. I screwed up.
That's exactly where
Luckyandleslie.com.
those tickets are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thanks
Yeah.
for reminding me. Good.
Yeah. No, that's cool. And that one, that's our workshop. So that one is very structured. It's not like this where we're just kind of chitty chatting. We do it where we have a lesson first. We talk about a topic, and then we do most of it is improv. It's like 45 minutes of improv, and we role play world scenarios for communication, and we laugh and we get a
And
little
what we
offended
role
every now and
play
then.
is real scenarios from work. And so you get better at handling them. People say things like, oh, this exact same thing happened at my job. Yeah, these are real
Yeah.
scenarios from real companies, and you'll recognize them and you'll know that this is going to help you the next time you encounter that kind of scenario. And there's scenarios where you're going to encounter them at any place you work. So you're going to have fun.
So the other one is going to be where? Where's the other one?
Oh,
Colorado. Is
Denver.
it in? It's in
Yeah,
Denver.
just
Yeah,
south
yeah,
of
yeah.
Denver, just
So
south of the
we'll
airport.
be there in just 2 weeks, right? October 1st, October 2nd, October 3rd
Mm-hmm.
for Dev 2 next. And we'll be teaching our workshop there. That'll be a lot of fun.
That'll be fun too. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'll also
that'll
be
be a
teaching
4.5 hour
how to make the most of your innovation and understanding the role of standards and innovation.
one.
When you get
That's a good topic.
yeah, it's it's how you make your innovation really take off. That hockey stick effect
Yeah,
really happens when it becomes a standard. So you got to figure out how to do that. And
very cool.
I'm here to
That'll
help.
be a
I
cool talk.
I understand that. Oh, look,
Nice.
there's a kitty to join us.
I know. Always, there's always a cat. So
Seems
fun.
like right at the half hour point, they say, okay, enough,
Okay, enough.
enough of that,
Enough
Christina.
already. I know. This is the second one. She's kicked the other one out. She was like, no, me. So yeah, I guess it's time to go. Awesome. Well, you think you have a great day, Leslie.
Thank
Thanks so
you.
much.
And thank
Yeah,
you.
and
You
I
have a
will
great
see
day,
you
Christina.
when? I'll see you in 2 days, I guess. I'll see you in 2 days
Yeah,
for our
see you in two
leadership
days.
practicum.
Mhm.
All right. Cool. Okay, bye.
All right. Adios.